Hi, everybody. Welcome to my live. Thank you for joining me. My name is Laura Rodrick. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Antonio, Texas. I go live every Tuesday night around 7 p.m. and we have a lot of fun making cards. I also post the video later on my Facebook business page and on my YouTube channel. So if you're on, please say hello. And if you're watching the replay, you can also make a comment. That'd be awesome. So it's Tuesday again. It's been a nice week. I hope everyone else had a really good week too. Hi, Renee. How are you? All right. We've had really good weather. Hi, Lois. I hope y'all are having good weather too. Although I think we're supposed to get some storms, I think Thursday night into Friday, but I feel like our storms are never, half the time they don't even come when they say it, and then the other half of the time, hi Kelly, they're not very significant. All right, so we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna do calendar class, which is a lot of fun, and I'll show you the projects in a minute. I wanna first do our winner from last week. So every week I do a share contest. And if you share my video on any of those 3 platforms that I mentioned, you're entered into the contest. This week we had a lot of people who shared in all 3 videos on Facebook, on my Facebook business, and also on YouTube. So the winner of this week's contest was Lois. So Lois, congratulations. She won the pack of the Country Gingham Designer paper, and I will get that out in the mail to you right away. So this next week, what I'm going to give away this week is this pack of 3 twine combo twine. This is really colorful. This is fun. We used these on a project a few weeks ago. So I have a pack here that I would like to give away. So all you have to do is share my video, and please make sure you put share in the comments, because if you just share and don't put it in the comments, I can't always see, according to some people's privacy settings, if they've shared. So that's how you enter the contest. All right, so I think we're just going to get started right away. I'm going to turn my camera down and we'll get started. All right, flip this. All right, okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let me just pull up my chair a little bit closer. Okay, so what we're going to be working out of today is the mini catalog, and we're going to use 3 different sets to do our cards. And let me just briefly show you the sets we're going to use. We're going to use the Two-Tone Flora floral bundle, and we used that one, was it last week? I can't remember if it was last week or the week before. But we used it recently. We're going to use the By the Bay Suite collection. And the third one that we're going to use for the cards is the Rain or Shine Suite collection. So that's what we're going to use. Now, if you follow, we did a calendar class already, and we did 3 calendar cards already. We did a January, a February, and a March. This quarter, we're going to be doing the April, May, and June. And let me show you these projects a little bit more up close. I've got April. Of course, I did April Showers with that cute Playing in the Rain bundle. May, and then we have June with the Seaside. I like to use things that we're already using in classes or are going to use in classes, so you don't have to have extra sets. You probably have them already. So that's what we're going to do today. These little cards, now I think I mentioned this last time I did one of these card classes. I got this idea from Erica Serwin, and she is one of my uplines. And they sit on a nice little wooden easel. And let me just show you how they sit. So you can put them on your desk, and they just sit like this. I know that's not really a good angle to look at, but they just sit on the desk like this, these little cards. I keep one on my desk. I've had these for quite some time. And now we're just making new designs. In addition, we are going to be using this Days to Remember stamp set. And this is great because you can make these. You don't have to make these for this year. You could start making these for next year to send as a gift when we finish our series. You'll have a full set of 12 cards if you make the dates for next year, or do some for this year and for some for next year. I'm also going to send you, so I'm going to send you, if you place an order with me, you can get the make and takes for free this week, and I will send you the supplies to make these 3 cards. I will send you a mini tear-off calendar for 2023. So if you don't have the stamp set or don't want to use the stamp set, you can just substitute one of these sheets on here, and it's already pre-made for you. And I will, of course, send you one of these wooden easels in the mail as well, so you have them. So if you're doing the second series, then yeah, you'll end up with 2 of these and 2 of these, right, for each card kit that you have. So that's lots of fun, one for you and one for a friend, or save them for gifts, or whatever you want to do with your sets. So I'm thinking for the next one we do, which is going to be in about 3 months, these 2024 calendars will be out already, so I'll include a 2024 calendar in the next class. So that's what I have planned for that. And then I was also thinking on the last one, I'll include a gift box. And this is one I got from Amazon, which I think will work nice. It's a very nice box. It's got a little magnetic clasp. It's easy to put together. It comes flat. And all these cards fit in here nice. And I already tested, and you can fit all 12 cards in here nice. Just wrap them in a little tissue paper, and then you would have a nice box for a gift, and we can decorate the box as well to give as a gift. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with this class, the direction we'll be following. All right, so let's get making these fun cards. So I haven't done a class yet with either the April Playing in the Rain, or we used this one already. I haven't done one with this yet. I'm waiting for the dies to come back in stock. Hold on a second. I didn't even make sure I was coming up on Facebook yet. I need to check and make sure that I come up. And hold on a second. I don't seem to be coming up. Let me just give me one more second. Okay, I can see myself now. Okay, some of the dies have been on back order, so I haven't done the classes for these yet, but I think the dies are supposed to be, hold on, let me get my little cheat sheet, because I wrote a few things down when they're coming back. The Seaside Bay dies are supposed to come back on 3/27 into stock, okay? And then the Playing in the Rain on the 13th, that was yesterday, and I think I saw yesterday they change that to the 20th. So those are coming back in stock very soon. So I've also extended, instead of just 1 week, I wrote till March 25th to get the make and takes for free. But I'll extend it even longer until those dies come in. So if that's what you wanted to get with your order, you can still get the make and takes for free. I'm not going to cut this off. You can get it whenever you need it. Okay. I also sell the make and takes for $20. Okay. So enough of me talking. Let's get playing. All right, I mentioned Days to Remember. We're going to use the stamp set. This is the Playing in the Rain stamp set. We're going to use this little bunny guy right here, and these flowers, and these raindrops were really fun. I've got this die set, and I think the only die we're going to use out of the die set for this card is just the one to cut out the flowers, which you could actually fussy cut. It's not that difficult if you don't have the dies yet. You could just fussy cut the flowers, but we'll be using this die. Okay, in addition to that, I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies, and these will be pre-cut for you in the kit, and the stitch rectangles to go around the calendars. So this is what the first kit looks like. And let me just pull out the pieces that we have here. Okay, so we're starting with our card base. This is Balmy Blue Cardstock. This is 6 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And then we've die cut out of the Balmy Blue from the Stylish Shapes. We have this square and then this rectangle for our calendar. So we're going to stamp on this. These are just going to be background. This Playing in the Rain paper is really cute. And I don't know if you can see on it, but it's shiny. This is regular flat, but the umbrellas are kind of glossy, which is really fun. So we're going to use a piece of the Rain or Shine DSP. This is 5 3/4 by 4 inches. And that's going to be our first layer on this calendar card. And let me just, if you haven't seen this designer series paper, it's lots of fun. It's got clouds and the flowers. It's got these little guys that you can actually cut out with the dies or fussy cut those. So you don't even have to color or stamp anything if you don't want to. So fun patterns, fun colors, lots of cute little guys. I love this. I'm going to have to use this. Look at how pretty this is with the pink and the orange and the dots. It's like watercoloring, but you don't have to go to the work. It's got raindrop paper, which is glossy. So this is a really fun paper kit to have. Okay, so we're going to start by stamping our cute little bunny that's playing in the rain. So let me get out the stamp for that. I'm going to start with some Memento Black. All right. Renee's asking, hi Pam, how do you decide which papers you're going to use ahead of time? That's usually one of the first things that I look for is a good paper, and pick out the paper, and then after that I coordinate the colors that I want to go with this the set. So I usually pick the paper first. Okay, this little guy just barely fits on this circle. So let me see if I can kind of get him on here. It doesn't matter if he's straight because it's a circle. And there he is, he or she. Now I also have this little scrap of paper right here. And this is, I think it's Mango Melody, and it's from the Brights Designer Series paper that just comes with all the different colors. You can see the opposite side. There's 4 different patterns to each color set of those. So I just took a little square, and I'm going to stamp the bunny again, but only the t-shirt, because we're going to make his little shirt or raincoat out of that polka dot paper. So I'm just going to stamp right on top of that paper and make sure I get the coat in there, and then we're just going to cut the coat out. All right. Then I guess as long as we're stamping, let's do our calendar. And we'll do the April and also the Mango Melody. So let me get my April. Okay, Pam, thanks for sharing. Pam, how's the weather in North Carolina? Is it good? Okay, so I've got a little April, and I'm just going to cut around that. Okay, now this stamp is really interesting, and it was really pretty smart the way Stampin' Up did it, because if you're going to use a color to stamp it, it's going to line up, and let me just show you with any color. We're going to use black for this one, but I just want to show you how the color works. So it's the exact width for a calendar for the 7 days of the week, whichever 7 dates that those are, right? So that's pretty smart, a nice and easy way to stamp. You don't have to mask anything off unless you have a month that doesn't have a 31 on it. Okay, then you have to do a little masking off. Okay, so for April, the 1st is on a Saturday. So we're going to use everything this way of the 1st, and this is a month where we don't have a 31st. So I'm going to take a little bit of Post-it tape and get rid of the 31st. Because we don't want that to show up on our calendar. So I'm just going to tape that right like that. Okay. Then I want to make sure to get just starting with the 1st. And just get my pad inked up, or get my stamp inked up from the pad. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to remove my tape and see if I can get it right in the center. We'll see. All right, so get it, let's see, right about here, see if I can get it straight. Okay, then we have our calendar. I think that came out just fine. All right, let's do a little bit of cutting next. I think I'm actually going to use a little trimmer to do this so it comes out kind of straight. And of course, I always have ink on my fingers already. So Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this one anymore, and they stopped selling it before I joined Stampin' Up! So I actually got mine on eBay. But I know there's other brands out there that you can get on Amazon if you like a paper trimmer. You can also use scissors or your regular paper trimmer as well. I just like this one because it's kind of small. Okay, so there's our April all cut out. So we'll put that aside. All right. Oh, I forgot to stamp the flowers before we color. Hold on. Where's my flowers? They're there. Okay. Then we'll do a little bit of coloring. Okay. Now I can put the stamp away after I put it away 3 times already, right? So let us start by cutting out his jacket. I'm going to cut right on the lines. I know usually we leave a little border or shadow when we cut things out, but I'm cutting right on the black lines this time for the little raincoat. And then we're going to just glue this on. And I'm cutting out just the coat. We don't need hands or anything else in there. And this little collar. And so the black lines will blend in with the other black lines that are on there. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Just cut on the black line. Because trust me, you won't be able to tell. I like to do this because I like the clothes sometimes to be patterned. So I like the little polka dot. I could have done this. This would have been cute too. And as you can see, this is just going to sit right on there. You could also just color it if you want to. Okay. So let me get some glue. Let's see if I can just put a little bit of glue. And put this jacket where it belongs. It reminds me of paper dolls. I loved paper dolls when I was a kid. That was so much fun. And color forms. Does anybody remember color forms? I'm really dating myself now, but oh, Pam, I'm sorry. It's cold and windy. I used to love, I remember I had Cinderella color forms and they were awesome. Okay, he's dressed. So very cute. So to color, all I did with the little bunny was I took the light polished pink and I'm just going to add a little bit of polished pink. Oh, and that's bright. I probably should have used petal pink because that is too bright. And I don't think that's what I used on the first one. That's very bright. Let me get out my petal pink and see if that looks better. Let's see. Here we are. Here's petal pink. Let's see what that looks like. Because I want to give a little circle for the cheek. So that's a little bit lighter. Which I don't really like that either. But since I used the other one, I'm going to just add a little bit to the feet. Maybe the dark petal pink was better. Now I'm just playing, right? Let me see what that would look like. I don't think I really like that either. All right, maybe it just dried lighter when I used it. I'm thinking maybe that's what happened. So I'm just going to go ahead and make his cheeks super rosy. All right, that's it. Our little guy's colored. Okay, so for then the flowers, I just use use any random colors that you want. I'm just putting some pink in the middle. I think I used some pumpkin pie, a light pumpkin pie for one of them. I used Granny Apple Green on the leaves. I kind of wanted the colors to kind of coordinate a little bit. And I used some Daffodil Delight. And one of them, and these bigger ones, I just left white because I feel daisies have white petals, right? So I just left them white. Let's see, maybe I'll use pink again for the insides of these. This just adds a little bit, I thought, to the bottom of the calendar. Okay, that's all we're gonna do with that. Okay, so one more thing before we assemble is we need to cut this out. So we're just gonna line up our die. And that lines up pretty well, just like that. I'm gonna take a little bit of Post-it tape. Oh, thanks, Pam. Okay, see if I can not mess this up. Okay, I'm gonna get out the little mini and just send this through really quick. Okay, there's our flowers. Okay, I think we have everything ready to assemble now. So we'll start with the layer with the umbrellas, and we'll just use a little bit of seal. Center it up like that. That adds a little bit of strength to it too when you add a layer like that too. It makes it a little stiffer to sit on the stand. Then we're going to take the circle and just use some seal to put it with the square background. And we're going to pop that up. Very quiet in here tonight. I don't hear anything going on in the neighborhood outside. The dogs are quiet. It might be a little bit too quiet. All right, and we'll put that right about here. We're going to pop up the calendar part. I love having the little calendars on my desk. It kind of makes me smile every morning when I look at it. I really should make myself a set for work too, to take to work, to have on my desk there. Okay, there. I'm just going to add a little bit of seal to our April. And we'll just kind of tag that right in the corner like that. And then we're going to pop this up at the bottom too. I probably didn't make that high enough. Can I move everything up? Let's see if I can move it up without ruining it. I need a little bit more room for the flowers. Hold on, I need one more. I should have laid it out before I put it down, right? Let's just put it a little bit higher like that. Let me see if I can get this one up without ruining it. I tell you, these little dimensionals really stick well, don't they? Awesome. Let me just see if this... All right, sorry for the delay. Didn't think that one through all the way. I always make these, all my classes so far in advance too, that by the time I do it live, it's been a few weeks since I did it. And I'm like, all right, what did I do again? Can't remember. All right, let's give ourselves a little bit more room at the bottom. Just like that. All right, I'm going to add a little seal across the top and just a dimensional on the bottom. And then we'll just set our flowers here in the corner. Okay, whew, that was a long road, huh? Sorry about that. Okay, now we have April, nice and easy. Easy to make a bunch of these if you wanted to. And that's it for our little guy. Oh, we didn't do the raindrops. I am so off my game tonight. Let's see if we can do them now. Things don't always stamp well like this, but let's try it anyway. All right, so where's my balmy blue? Hold on one second, it's gonna mess up my camera, hold on. All right, sorry about that. I usually pull that ahead of time too. All right. All right, I'm going to try and get the next one right. We'll just add a few raindrops. And I think that's stamping just fine. And a couple more at the top. Just like that. Okay, there we go. Saved. Through a million mistakes, we ended up in the right place. All right, April, done. Let's move on to May. Now, was it last week, you guys, that we did this one? I want to say it was. I've done so many cards recently. I think it was last week that we used this set to make cards. So we kind of know the drill on this one already. And we're using the Two-Tone Flora, the two-step stamps for this one, and the dies to cut out the flowers. We're also going to use the Quatrefoil embossing folder to emboss one of the layers. My favorite embossing folder right now, love it. It's on low inventory, so if you want this one, get it right away, because I hate when things sell out. All right, here's the pieces for this one. Okay. Now, I've done some of the things ahead of time. I've already embossed, and if you get the kit, I'm embossing this for you. So it will come to you already embossed, this layer. So if you don't have the Quatrefoil, don't worry about it. It's fine. And I think we can just go ahead and start off just by putting our layers on right now. There's nothing else we have to attach. We don't have to attach any ribbon or anything. So again, same dimension as before, 6 inches by 4 1/4. This layer is 5 3/4 by 4. And then the white layer is going to be 5 1/2 by 3 3/4. I'm going to get out my Seal Plus for the embossed layer because I think it doesn't pull the paper up as much as the other one. It just goes on much easier. So I like to use that when I have something embossed. Okay, so far so good. We've got some layers. All right, let's do our stamping, and I'll demonstrate the stamping for this again. Loving this set. It's one of my favorites because of the flowers. So we're going to start with the big one. And I'm going to do first the dark. I'm using Daffodil Delight. I'm going to stamp the first layer of the flower in Daffodil. The second layer, which is the solid layer, kind of the background, I'm going to stamp off first. And then I'm going to put the layer, the lighter layer right here and line it up. I'm lining up with these little, the stamen or whatever it is of the flower. Perfect rose. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, the next color I'm going to do is, we'll do the Coastal Cabana next. We can do polished pink. I think I already cleaned my stamp. Let's do polished pink. So for the next two flowers, we're going to use this, which is the next size down. And let me just make sure my stamp is clean since I'm using more than one color on this. Let me just rub that off and make sure it's clean. Don't want to mix any colors. Okay, so again, the first solid one with the darker. And I'm going to do the background and stamp off and line it up. Perfect roses every time. All right, one more. We're going to do the Coastal Cabana for our third color. Again, let me clean off my stamps really quick. I think I did a good job. Okay. Make sure that's good and dark. Okay, so now we have our three flowers. I also stamped a couple of the leaves, and we'll do those in Granny Apple Green. I like kind of the bright colors together. I think they look pretty. So you'll also need to stamp 2 of these. And then 1 of these little leaves like this. We'll just put this one over here. Whoops, I did not do a good job of that. That would be a redo. Okay. The next thing we would do would be get out the dies and cut out all these little things, the roses and the leaves. And I've already pre-done that, so I've already sent it through the die cutting machine, so I have all the pieces for that right here. All right, so what else do we have to stamp? We need to stamp our calendar, and we need to stamp the May, so let's do that. And both of those are stamped in polished pink. Renee, I know, it's just, Renee said, too bad you don't have the raindrops from the paper pumpkin. I fell in love with those the minute I saw them. They're just so beautiful. And the color's perfect. I did from Amazon, because, you know, I haven't done that class yet. I did get these this week, and these are like little raindrops, but they're a little bit too dark blue. But this comes with a lot of them. There's 250 of these in the package. But I was wondering if I should play with those, but they may be a little bit too dark. But yes, I am in love with the raindrops that came with that. Okay, so let me clean the stamp off for our calendar. Okay, so May of this year, we're going to start with the 1 is going to be on the Monday, so 7 is going to be the first one. Right here. So we're going to start with 7, which is right here, and go this way. And there are 31 days, so we don't have to mask anything off. So I'm just going to line it up right like this and make sure I'm getting the ink just for those numbers. Okay. And try and get it straight. Where is my 7? Right over here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, not bad, right? That's pretty good. All right, then I'm going to take the May. And so this is also a little banner die from the Stylish Shapes die set. And I'm just going to stamp the May right in the center of that. Okay. All right, let's finish assembling this one now. Got my little pieces here. Okay, this time I think I'll put the calendar down first, so I kind of try and get everything right this time. So I'm just going to use some seal to put the first layer onto the pink. And get some dimensionals. Whoa. And we've got some room on this card to play around. I'm just going to use a little bit of seal to put the May on the bottom there. Right like that. Okay, then we're going to put down the flowers. The first yellow rose I'm going to kind of put towards the back. Whoa. And I'll just stick that straight down right about here. Then we'll start popping things up, starting with the pink. All right, this one, I'm going to put a little bit of seal here because it's going to sit partly on top of the pink one. And we'll just add a couple of these here. Like that. I'm going to take these and I think I'm going to trim off the bottom. I'm going to trim a little bit of, they have the little punch out these little holes, but I like it to look just a little bit more cut out. So I'm just trimming it with a pair of scissors. Just in those two areas. And it actually does make it easier because you're not then putting your scissors in and trying to go around the curve. The curve part's already cut out, so that's pretty handy. All right, and I think I'll just use a little bit of seal on these. Put one right up here. And one kind of tucked under here. Hold on. I'm going to cut just a little bit more off. I don't have too much tucking room. Okay. Room to tuck. This one like that. Okay, then we're just going to add a couple of the sequins, and the colors match perfectly for that. Oh, Lois, thanks for sharing. I'll put one here. Doesn't matter if they're big or little ones. I've got some of the big, I don't know what color that is exactly. It might be Coastal Cabana. And I've got the little pink ones. Okay. All right. So May done. Pretty easy. Pretty flowers. I always think of flowers in May and Mother's Day. So that's kind of why I went with flowers for our May card. Okay. We are on to the third. Have you guys played with this set? I love, love, love this set, and I can't wait to make. I made one card for my Sweet Stampin' Friends tutorial, but I want to play with this. It's just, I love the colors. I love the ocean. I love seashells. I love all that stuff, so that is just right up my alley. Okay, so this is the Seaside Bay. This is the stamp set. This is the die set. You can see these little shells. We're using some of these to cut out some of the shells and some of the grass that goes behind. And this is the set for this one. Now, when I send it to you, and by the way, here's the host code if you're going to place an order to get this for free this week. You get everything that comes in the little bag, just like that. So I'm pre-cutting this little seashell for everybody, and then I'm giving you the cardstock to cut out the other things. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of stamping again, and then I'll start going over the pieces. So let me go over the pieces first. So I have Pool Party cardstock. This is 6 inches by 4 1/4. And then I have a couple of pieces of the Designer Series paper that goes with this set. And this is 6 by 6 paper that comes in this set. You can see this is a piece from one of the cards I did before. Really pretty. This is how the paper actually comes. Let me get you this pack. But the patterns in this paper are gorgeous. This is kind of that wet embossing again. Looks really, really pretty. Let me show you some of these other patterns. Same thing with these oyster shells. Look at the gold embossed. Gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Gold embossing on this. Just a variety of absolutely gorgeous papers. I love, love, love it. So much gold. It's just, so this side is embossed with something. Every sheet on here has some type of embossing on it, okay? And then when you flip it over, the other side has really beautiful patterns too. I love this one. It kind of looks like sea and sand to me, like a shoreline. You've got shells and birds, different shell papers on the Designer Series paper. This is just, and if you like that kind of whitewashed wood look, there's some of that in there. Just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Look at the waves. So you can do a lot with that paper. Okay, so I've taken 2 pieces of that. So of the DSP, this one is 4 inches by 3 inches, and this is kind of supposed to look a little bit like a sky to me. And then for this smaller one, the shell pattern, this is 4 by 3 3/4. Okay, and so this is going to go together on here. I also have a Night of Navy, and the Night of Navy is 4 inches by 3 inches. So we've got 2 that are 4 inches by 3 inches. So when we set them up, this one's going to go here. This one's going to go here, and then this one's going to go in the middle of the Night of Navy like that, okay? All right, but let's do some stamping. So we're going to put our June here, and we're going to do our calendar here, and then we're also going to stamp a seashell and the little crab. Okay, so let's do the seashell and crab first because that's the easy part. The calendar's the harder part, I think, so we'll do that one last. So I'm using soft suede, and I'm just using this little seashell stamp like that. And I'm just going to stamp that in soft suede, right like that. Okay, and then in Night of Navy, and I just did it because I wanted to match everything. I don't think crabs are navy blue, although I did Google to see, well, what color are the crabs supposed to be? And there were a variety of colors. Okay, let me find my crab. All right, this little guy's right here. Nope, wait, that's a flower. He looked like a crab for a second. All right. So I'm just going to ink this guy up in Night of Navy. And just look how pretty the detail is in that. I just love that. All right, let's tackle the calendar. I'm going from easiest to hardest, right? So where is my June? Right here. Let's do this part right here. Okay, and then the last part's going to be our calendar part again. Now, if you don't want to stamp the calendar, you don't have the calendar set, like I said, you can just go ahead and just use the little tear-off pieces and just frame them out with a piece of cardstock. All right, so for June, the second week starts, we're going to go 4 through 10 on our thing. So we're going to start right here, go through 10, and again, there's no 31st in June, so we're going to tape that off. And the other thing I like about this, you can use this for years and years because you can make it any calendar you want. So you'll always have this. If you buy the stamp set, you're always going to have it and can make calendars anytime that you like. So it's a good, I'm really glad I have it. It's a good set to have. Okay. So I said we're going to start with the 4th. Oh, the 31st. Whoops, I tipped off the wrong 31st. That's just silly. There's a couple of them on here. Okay, and I'm going to start with the 4th. So I'm going to start inking that up right like that. I hit it a couple times because I like to make sure I get enough ink on it that it's going to be nice for those numbers. And take off my Post-it tape. And see if I can get this centered. To me, that's the hardest part, is making sure it's centered and straight. Okay, that will do nicely. Okay, stamping done. Let's start assembling. All right, let me get the ink off my fingers. All right, so I'm just taking a look. I'm going to start by putting this layer on first. And kind of have a centered border, right about like that. Then I'm going to put on my Night of Navy, right here. And that's going to pretty much match up edge to edge. Make sure that's kind of straight. Okay, we're ready to start putting things on. Okay, so like I said, I die cut this piece. these little guys right here, take your dies and cut them out. So those are right here, like that. I took, I'm giving you a piece of Sahara sand, and you can cut out 2 Sahara sand taller grass ones. And then this is mint macaron, and I've got the shorter grasses get cut out of that one. Okay, so that's all done. This shimmer paper is gorgeous. Have you guys gotten this shimmer paper yet? It's amazing. It's so, so pretty. So I cut some of the seashells out of that shimmer paper, and I just think they look so pretty. So I cut 2 small ones and 1 of the large ones. So we have that ready. Now let me show you this one. I have this little piece of Sahara sand. And let me go back to get the die if I can find it really quick. So now you could just freehand cut with a pair of scissors if you wanted to, or you can use this die right here to kind of do the border of the sand. Now when I first looked at it, I thought, well, it's bumpy this way, so I would think it would go like this, right? But it doesn't, because it leaves a mark right here. So you have to do it from the top of wherever you want it cut. So I went ahead and I cut that. And this is the piece that I had. And what I've done is I've taken the Sahara sand and the little sand, what do you call it? Stamp. And I've just, you can do it before or after you die cut it or cut it, just to add a little bit of sand texture to our piece of Sahara sand, just like that. Okay, so that's what we did with that. So let's move these pieces out of the way. All right, so now I have all of our little pieces ready to go, and I'm going to take this next, and this is going to go right here, but I want to wrap some ribbon around it. So I'm going to take the ribbon, and let me add a little bit of glue. It's going to go towards the bottom of this, because I kind of want it right on the edge. I want my bow, hold on. I want to make sure, because I've already pre-cut this ribbon, that I don't mess it up. I kind of want the bow, the knot to be right about here, so I kind of want it to land like that. So right about here is where I'm going to want the ribbon to come. So let me put that here with a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to bring it around here and tie a knot. Now, you don't have to use the ribbon if you don't want to, but I thought it added a nice touch. And it's so pretty, this ribbon with the border, and it's kind of sparkly and shiny, and I think it's just really pretty. So I'm just tying a knot for that, and then I'm just going to cut it off. Kind of short because I don't want it to cover up too much. Okay, now I'm ready to put this down as kind of the border between the two. So I'm going to just add my adhesive to this area right here, and then go ahead and put this right like this. All right, I think I want it a little bit higher. I'm not going to end up with too much glue underneath. Or we're going to have a little bit of sky showing there, but I think that's okay. All right, is that kind of straight? I think so. All right. Then I'm going to put the shell layer centered right here on what's left of the Night of Navy. So right about there. Okay, now we can start, let's just put this on first. Let's pop this up, and then we'll start layering our cute little beach scene with our little sand friends. All right, this goes right in the center. Now, if you like the days of the week on there too, in the stamp set, there is also a little, and I think we used it last time. When we used it for the March one, you can just stamp the days of the week right across the top too, if you prefer to have that on. It's up to you what you want to do. I didn't do that for any of the cards this time. Okay, so we are going to start by putting the grass in the background. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue for that. Just a few dots here and there. Hold on, I think we dried up a little bit already. There we go. I don't think I totally fully unclogged that yet. Hold on, I need a little pin to unclog it. Okay. All right, I'm just going to set one kind of this way. I like the seagrasses. I would love to live near the beach. I love, love, love the beach. All right, we're still having a problem here with the glue. I might have to get out my favorite glue pen if this glue doesn't play nice with me. One kind of like there. And then we'll put in the ones from the mint macaron. I could put a glue dot on here too if I wanted to attach it that way. Or there's a million ways to use your adhesive, right? So I'm going to kind of put one there and one more of those. And I'm going to kind of want this one to come over here on the top. Okay. Next, we'll put this cute little shell. Now this shell, you can see when it cuts, it embosses. And this actually comes in two different, I'm going to curve that a little bit. It comes together, right? So let me show you the die. Like this. So it cuts out the whole thing and you can fold it over and then you can open it if you want to. I've seen people put a little pearl in there, which looks really cute, but it embosses. So I cut it out. I just cut it here and just cut out part of it. And what I used for that, which I'm also including for you, is a little bit of this, this gorgeous shimmery white cardstock. And it's kind of hard to see, but it has a really pretty shimmer. It's not super glittery, but there's definitely a shimmer to this. So that's what I used for that. If you wanted to bling it up a little more, you could use a little bit of Wink of Stella and really make it shiny and pretty. All right, so let's just start layering up some of these things. We'll put a shell right here and another little one. My hands are a mess. I'm full of ink and glue. All right, let's pop our crab up. Ouch. All right about here. And put down this shell right here. And then our last two elements we're just going to pop up. Hold on. Okay, so this one right about here. This, and let me get our June ready. My nails are a mess. My nail appointment's not till tomorrow. So I actually popped one of them off, and this doesn't even match the other colors, but it looked worse when there was nothing on it, so had to improvise to get through today. Okay, this one right here. Okay, and I think that's it. If you wanted to, you could add some embellishments and embellish it a little bit further, but I think there's a lot on there already. So that is our last one. Okay, so I think these are fun. I think they'd be nice gifts to give to somebody. And I like looking at them every day. I look forward to the next month when I can put the next one up, although we don't want time to travel too quickly, right? All right, so those are our projects for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me run by a couple of quick things, and then next week we're going to do Easter. And that'll be the Easter class, and I'll show you those projects in case you haven't seen them yet. But if you want the project and measurement sheet for these cards for today, the calendar cards, just email me, and it's my email is sunshineandsparklestamping@gmail.com, and I'll just be happy to email that to you. This is the paper pumpkin kit for this month that just started. It's called All the Little Things, and that runs through April 10th. It has a little organizer insert this time for the paper pumpkin box, so you can kind of reuse your box, organize your little mini ink spots if you collect those with the paper pumpkin. This is the sign up for paper pumpkin. A reminder that there's online exclusives that aren't in the catalog. So if you're interested in any of these, you can go on and take a look at what they have to offer. I've ordered some of the new things already, so I'm excited about that. And then here are the projects for next week. We're going to go ahead and do our Easter kit. And so we've got some Easter cards and some with the carrot set. So we're going to do this Happy Easter card here. This fun fold Easter card, right like that. I love the colors of that. We're using that little carrot stamp set as well to make a couple cards. This Happy Easter card. Everything's coming up carrots. And then we're going to make this cute little treat basket. All right, so I hope you can join me next week. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. I hope everybody has a fabulous rest of the week. And take care, everyone. Bye-bye.